Balder, the son of Odin and Frigg, was the most beloved of all the gods. He was known for his beauty, kindness, and wisdom. His presence brought joy to Asgard, and his light was said to be so pure that it shone from within him, casting a radiance wherever he went. All the gods and goddesses loved him dearly, and none could imagine Asgard without his presence. However, dark dreams began to haunt Balder. Night after night, he dreamed of his own death. These visions were so troubling that even the gods took notice, and soon it became clear that these were not just dreams, but ominous premonitions of what was to come. Balder's mother, Frigg, was heartbroken by the thought of losing her son. Determined to protect him, she set out on a quest to ensure that no harm could come to him. Frigg traveled across the 9 realms, securing oaths from every creature, element, and object in existence. She asked fire not to burn him, water not to drown him, stones not to strike him, and metals not to cut him. Every living thing, from the plants and animals to the very earth and sky, promised never to harm Balder. With all these oaths in place, Balder became invulnerable to all danger. To celebrate his newfound invincibility, the gods made a game of throwing things at him: stones, spears, arrows, even swords, knowing that nothing could harm him. The sight of Balder standing unharmed amidst such perilous weapons brought joy and laughter to Asgard. But not all were pleased with Balder's invulnerability. Loki, the trickster god, who was known for his cunning and malice, grew envious of Balder's adoration and safety. He devised a plan to bring about Balder's downfall. Loki disguised himself as an old woman and approached Frigg, engaging her in conversation. During their talk, Loki cleverly extracted a crucial piece of information from her. Frigg revealed that she had not taken an oath from one thing: a small, seemingly harmless plant called mistletoe. She had thought it too young and insignificant to pose any threat to her son. This was the opportunity Loki had been waiting for. He quickly found a sprig of mistletoe and fashioned it into a sharp dart. Then, returning to the gathering of the gods, he sought out Balder's blind brother, Höður. Höður had not participated in the games because of his blindness, but Loki approached him and offered to guide his hand so he too could join in the fun. Unaware of Loki's treachery, Höður agreed. Loki placed the mistletoe dart in Höður's hand and directed him to throw it at Balder. The dart flew through the air and struck Balder in the chest. To the horror of all who witnessed it, the mistletoe pierced Balder's heart, and he fell to the ground, dead. The gods were struck with disbelief and grief. The radiance of Asgard was snuffed out in an instant. As Balder lay lifeless, the gods were plunged into deep sorrow. Never before had they known such despair. They tried in vain to revive him, but Balder's fate was sealed. Frigg, heartbroken and desperate, asked if any among them would go to Hel, the land of the dead, to plead with Hel, the goddess of the underworld, for Balder's release. Hermod, another son of Odin, volunteered for this perilous journey. Riding Odin's 8-legged horse, Sleipnir, Hermod made his way to Hel's realm. When he arrived, he found Balder sitting in a place of honor among the dead. Hermod pleaded with Hel to release Balder, explaining how loved he was by all living things. Hel, moved by his plea but still bound by her own rules, agreed to release Balder on one condition: every being in the universe, both living and dead, must weep for him. If even one creature refused, Balder would remain in the underworld. The gods sent messengers across the 9 realms, and as expected, every creature wept for Balder. Every creature except one. A giantess named Thuk, who was actually Loki in disguise, coldly refused to shed a single tear. She stated that Balder meant nothing to her, and that she saw no reason to mourn his passing. Because of this refusal, Hel kept Balder in the underworld. The gods returned to Asgard in despair, knowing that they would never see Balder again until after the events of Ragnarok. The death of Balder marked the beginning of the end. It was a wound that Asgard could not heal, a harbinger of the doom that would soon befall the gods. The loss of Balder, the purest and most beloved among them, weighed heavily on their hearts. The light of Asgard had dimmed, and the shadow of Ragnarok loomed ever closer. Balder's death set in motion a series of events that would lead to the ultimate destruction and rebirth of the world. It was a reminder to the gods that even they were not immune to fate, and that even the brightest light could be extinguished. Balder's death is a poignant reminder of the fragility of life and the inevitability of fate, themes that run deeply through Norse mythology.